are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No. Economic force. Because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like, and it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. I love the Canadian people. They're great. But we're spending hundreds of billions a year to protect it. We lose in trade deficits. We're losing massive. We don't need their cars. You know, they make 20% of our cars. We don't need that. I'd rather make them in Detroit. We don't need their lumber. We have massive fields of lumber. We don't need anything. So why are we losing $200 billion a year and more to protect Canada? And I said that to, as I called him, Governor Trudeau. I said, listen, what would happen if we didn't subsidize you? They should be a state. That's why I told Trudeau when he came down. I said, what would happen if we didn't do it? He said Canada would dissolve. Canada wouldn't be able to function if we didn't take their 20% of our car market. We don't need their cars, and we don't need the other products. We don't need their milk. We got a lot of milk. So I said to him, well, why are we doing it? He said, I don't really know. He was unable to answer the question, but I can answer it. We're doing it because of habit, and we're doing it because we like our neighbors.
Damn. Did Donald Trump say Canada is essentially a streaming network we never watch, but we pay for every month? Oh man, Donald Trump just said, consequently, I'm finna unsubscribe from Canada. Golly.
This shit just got real.
Did it just get real? I think it been real, bruh.
Trudeau was like, you putting a lot of pressure on us Canadians with them tariffs. I don't think I got the mentality to do this. Donald Trump was like, if you can't handle the pressure, if you think it's too much, you can always become our 51st state.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor.
2 hours later.
I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
Here, let me translate for all my hip-hop heads. Pressure bust pipes. Time to apply it now. Pick out a quiet town and tie it down. Make niggas lie it down. Y'all know where to buy it now. Donald Trump, I supply it now. But to keep all of our minds off of that, they give us this.
Can someone explain to me why in Manchester we've had nothing but fog for 4 days now? 4 days in a row.
All of PCH is on fire right now. There is fierce wind, down power lines, power poles toppled over.
The Baltimore Harbor is full of dead fish today. It's pretty shocking to see.
Democracy, nigga!
A beautiful day for a neighbor. Could you be mine? Neighborly day for beauty. Just with you, so since we're together, we might as well say won't you please won't you be my neighbor? I'm glad we're together again.
I just got, look at that, look at that. Oh my god, I can't record it yet.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
You got that? You got that?
Yeah, I got it.
God damn,
Talk
what is
about
going on? I told you. Look.
What the fuck? They're looking for something, and the beams are shooting across the sky.
Ricky, what if that's related to what we were seeing that one time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like the orbs, yes, the ones we have on video on the night vision.
What if it's that orb that
what
we saw
the fuck?
shooting?
That's coming from out east, too. That's
Dude,
out east deep.
Literally in the car, right? I told her, keep her eye on the sky and lights will appear. And then look, I told her.
I see. What I told your mom the same
She
thing.
called me
What I tell you?
schizophrenic.
I told your mom the same thing on the way home. Whoa.
Look at this shit.
Wait, that
Whoa.
just shot.
Watch this. Wow, look at it. Look at whoa.
Wait, they just shot from that way to here.
They just shot back and forth.
Dude, this is insane. What?
That was too heavy?
Bruh.
Yeah, that was too heavy. My bad. I be in here doing these videos all the time. I don't even be knowing when something's too heavy for y'all. Let's just take the edge off a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's get a nice little massage in just to relax a little bit, you know? There we go. There we go. Let's take a little edge off. That's a nice edge right there, as a matter of fact. We want to take the edge off. We want to be relaxed. We want to be nice and calm as we continue through this creepy TikTok journey. Right. What do you guys think? Should I just start making videos like this? How about I just react to the massage? Look how comfortable she looks. Yeah. She looks like she's enjoying herself. It's nice to give your wife or girlfriend or girlfriends a nice scalp massage. Would you like that, honey? Of course you would. Nothing sensual involved, just pure relaxation. We don't need any aliens here, but we are inclusive. Would you like to give an Anunnaki woman a massage? That might be cool. Do you mind her green skin? We don't mind you having green skin. Not on the Honest Adonis channel. We love your green skin. Purple skin? What do you have, scales? You're a reptilian? That's okay. Oh, you'd like to massage me? Whatever you say, reptilian woman. I've got no problem with that. Oh, you're from Alterio 5. How is it there? Oh, it's in a different dimension? That's what's poppin'. There you go. How do you guys feel? Okay, you ready to continue? Or do you need a little more relaxation? You tell me in the comments. We love the sound of lotion squirting into hands, don't we? Where's your mind at? It should be on the relaxing thoughts of massaging an Anunnaki woman or an Anunnaki man, whatever floats your boat. Okay, we're going to continue with the creepy videos. Do you think you can handle it? Of course you can. Let's go.
And when I sit over there and say, this the type of white I'm trying to be, I'll sit over there, get the giggling and laughing and shit. This nigga is driving a motherfucking helipad in the goddamn... listen to me. Give me some of them hours, man.
I said it once, I'm going to say it again. The cave system in this country has something to do with the missing people in this country. They just found a body inside of this cave. This is Carlsbad Cavern in New Mexico. They just found human remains, and they don't know who this human is. I shit you not. Look, this article is from April 12th of this year, and it states human remains were found in Carlsbad Cavern. In a national park, in a cave, a body they can't identify.
Were the human remains possibly a nigga who shouldn't have been in the cave? Maybe. I mean, based on these comments that I got from my last video, where I was looking at the caves, I'm just thinking maybe. Could it have been?
But I'm tripping. Now, to back up my claim that the cave system and the national parks are suspicious as shit and they're the reason for missing people in this country, look at this map. The top map is search and rescue hotspots throughout the country and national parks. The bottom is the cave system. I'm sorry, but anywhere there's a cave, search and rescue numbers are very high. I'm telling y'all right now, something suspicious as shit is going on in these caves. Even if you take the cave system out of the entire equation, why are over 1,600 people missing inside of the national parks? This is a map of current missing people. Now, this isn't all of them because not all of them are reported, but the blue dots are males, purple dots are females. And I'm sorry, but I don't have the cave system up right here with it. But I can already tell you right now, this follows the cave system.
What are the red dots?
I'll say it again. What the fuck is going on in these caves?
So this is the Superman crawl. It's an opening less than 10 inches wide where you literally have to make a Superman pose just to make it through. If you follow the cave through the dragon's back chamber and then go down to shoot, yeah, that shoot.
Superman crawl is easy compared to the shoot.
That's Dr. Lee Berger, who led the expedition.
Hello.
So after the shoot, what you find could be the oldest known human burial by at least 100,000 years. But the thing is, these bodies are from a different human species. Over the last 10 years, I've discovered remains, and some of them possibly buried, of a new human species that they named Homo naledi, along with some carvings that they might have made. So we've seen some evidence that shows that Neanderthals practice art and some sort of burial ritual. But our brains are pretty similar size, so even though it's cool, it's not too surprising. What makes Naledi extra weird is
the brain's about a third the size of a human's.
Like the size of a chimp's. Now, we've seen chimps more in their family members through vocalizations or grooming or even revisiting their bodies. But imagine seeing a chimpanzee that buries their dead. Maybe we're not as unique as we think.
I know what's going on. These niggas are trying to make caving seem like, no, I'm an archaeologist. Nigga, you nosy. There's nothing in the cave for you.
On September 28, 2008, 3 experienced cave divers set out to explore the Source de Dieu cave in France near the border of Switzerland. 2 of the men had done this dive before, but one of them hadn't. His name was John Manili. Now, the other 2 tried to convince John not to do this dive, and the reason they tried to convince him is because his gear wasn't really suited for it. You see, all the men were wearing rebreathers, which is a closed-circuit dive system where the air you exhale is recycled, the CO2 is scrubbed out, and you rebreathe it. It allows you to stay underwater much longer. And as I said, all 3 of them were wearing that, but his was much bigger than the other 2. And the problem with that is this cave is incredibly narrow, to the point where you're squeezing through restrictions that are only a few feet tall and a few feet wide, so less than a meter both directions. And they know that, having been down there. And if you get stuck in there, you're probably never coming out again. You're underwater, and you're thousands of meters, thousands and thousands and thousands of feet into the earth.
What if he's the last person in? He gets stuck, but it's only one way out. What if he's he could be the first person in and get stuck. We'll just turn around. It's just not a good idea all the way around, is what I'm saying. But what do I know? I mean, you need more black friends. Our fear is warranted. You know what I mean? We're not just scared for nothing. You know, monsters, serial killers, caves. Nigga, I'm scared. Let's go.
So if you get stuck, you're pretty much done. But John assured them that he would be okay, and he's an experienced diver and an adult. So they were like, okay. Well, the next day, on the 28th, the 3 men set out, and they all individually began their dives. They were not diving together. They were not diving as a group.
I like how they was like, well, he was like, I'm an adult. And they was like, all right. I could just see if the dudes who told him all right was black. All right, nigga. And then when he get killed, because these stories, they have to, the nigga died. Come on now. When the police is asking him, like, we told him he hard-headed. Fuck this nigga.
Well, John began his dive, and the way this cave is set up is you go down and you're underwater, you swim horizontally 13 meters or 43 feet to the edge of a vertical shaft. This vertical shaft is very tight, it's hard to squeeze through, and it's very deep. It goes down 53 meters or 173 feet to the bottom. And once you're on the bottom, the various cave shafts go out for thousands of meters. The deepest we know that anybody's ever been able to explore it is 1,050 meters. We don't know what's beyond that. I don't think they've ever found the end of it. But John, he successfully navigates the first 2 sections. So he goes and he makes it all the way down to the bottom through that vertical shaft. And those are some of the tightest restrictions. So he probably was thinking he'd be good to go for the rest of it if he made it through these tight little squeezes. So we know that he gets to the bottom and he goes out exploring on his own through these tight little spaces in the pitch black. And of course he's got a flashlight, but otherwise pitch black down there. And you're kicking up silt, you know, its visibility is probably not great through some of it. In some parts it's probably pretty clear. But at some point he hits a section 555 meters in where it is too tight for him to get through with his gear on. He can't go any further. Also, it is reported that he was following the rule of thirds, which is he knows that he's consumed 1/3 of his air and he needs to conserve 2/3 of it for his return to the surface to be safe. So for whatever reason, at 555 meters in, he turns around and starts making his way back. Well, he gets all the way back until he's almost at that vertical shaft section where you make most of your ascent back to the surface. But before he reaches that vertical shaft, he gets to one of these very tight restrictions where there's this rock cave-in. And for whatever reason, he cannot make it through it.
It's cave-ins too down there, my nigga. A cave-in can happen while you're down there, my nigga. I mean, I know earthquakes can happen while you're on the earth. So for my cavers in the audience, I get where you're coming from. And for my caver females, damn, it's a shame that y'all are hot. God. Speaking of God, don't he got a great sense of humor? He'll make a girl totally gorgeous down to earth. This bitch want to go climb in a rat hole and want you to go with her. Who does she end up marrying? Not you, the nigga who just want to go on a nice walk. This nigga who want to go on a motherfucking drain pipe in the ground. I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought because You think I'm mad because I lost my train of thought? No, nigga, I'm thinking of this juicy bitch that's fucking with this weird nigga, you long beard bitch. This nigga sitting here telling us about caves like he wish he could go too.
He made it through it on the way in, but on the way out, he absolutely just can't get through it. So he makes the decision to abandon his rebreather there. He's carrying emergency air. He's got a bottle of air that he's carrying under his arm, and that's got a hose on it with a regulator that he can switch over to. It's also possible that his rebreather may have been caught on the rocks there, but he abandons his rebreather, he takes it off, and now he's relying on that one bottle with that regulator to get him back to that vertical shaft, up 173 feet, 53 meters, and then across 13, 14 meters, 43 feet back to where he can get to the surface. So he makes it all the way to the vertical shaft and he begins squeezing his way up through it. And he's crawling through these tight little, crevices and cracks, carrying that bottle. When at some point we think somewhere around 25 to 40 meters, so not even quite halfway up yet, that bottle seems to have been caught while he's trying to get through one of those restrictions. And it snaps the bottle off of the hose. And because he's in that vertical section, it's not like he can just reach over, grab the bottle, and reattach the hose or anything like that, even if he would have been able to do that anyways. I'm not sure that he would have been able to. But either way, because he's in that vertical section, the bottle just immediately sinks down below him into the dark abyss. And at that point, John would have realized, I am way too deep. Well, his two dive buddies had been on the surface for a while. It was 4 hours after they all began the dive, and John still wasn't back on the surface. So at that point, they called authorities, firefighters showed up, but by the time firefighters were...
What the fuck are firefighters gonna do? There's no firefighters. This nigga drowned. He gone.
There, his two dive buddies were already in the water searching for him. They found him over 20 meters down that vertical shaft, so he hadn't made it up to even the horizontal place yet. I mean, he still had hundreds of feet left to go by the time that bottle became separated. But they found him trapped under a little tight ledge, just floating there lifeless. They brought him back up to the surface where firefighters tried to revive him, but of course it was far too late.
Here's another thing that gets left out, but us creepy talkers and people who believe in the paranormal, the spiritual realm, different dimensions, all of that shit is the paranormal, my nigga, because it's not normal. What if a jinn just grabbed his, yoink, fucked him all up? You don't even know. I don't even want to find out. Shout out to the people who watched the video before this and they was like, nigga, I can't even watch this. I'm going to give you a like because you my dog. I'm not watching this. And it's far more people than I thought. I was not expecting that. I'm the anxious one, and the only reason I even watched that video is because my wife, her fucking friend, I tell you, man, I'm just shaking my head at myself. I'm shaking my head at my gender. What we won't do for love. We'll have everything and we won't let it go. Psst. I swear to God, if her friend wasn't hot, I wouldn't have even listened to this bitch. I'm sitting here listening to her talk about camping and hiking and trudging through the woods. We don't have mountains in the inner city, bitch. We can see them. They somewhere over there. This is the only reason why I watched this video. Because my wife literally had an attitude with me because she knows me, like how, she can tell. I guess I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So she like kind of catching an attitude with me after her friend left, like, cause I won't go camping. In my head, okay, I'm like, bitch, you not from the motherfucking woods? The fuck is you talking about? But out loud, I said, oh, that's okay. Yeah, that sounds like something that, maybe. You never know. Guys, you never know what could happen. In my head, I'm like, I know, bitch, what could happen, and I ain't going. But my wife know I got an attitude a little something with this fucking bitch. I don't have an attitude with my wife. I don't have an attitude with the fact that this bitch is one of those types of bitches. I got an attitude with the fact that she's fucking gorgeous with a juicy ass. How you fitting that booty inside one of them little... How? This bitch is trying to get us out there and murder us. That's what the fuck she think. I don't know. She the female Dexter. This bitch is trying to kill a nigga. I'm sorry. These are ADHD thoughts. Anyway... There was a lot of women who left comments that I was like, nah, I'm good. I can't even watch it. A lot of dudes that was like, I can't watch this, bro. I'm gonna like the video, but next one I'll check you out. Something I happen to see, the correlation is black guys, generally, and women was like, fuck this cave shit. And it got me to thinking. The black dudes are just, nigga, it's enough shit for me to fucking worry about without worrying about this shit. And then the women, I think they was like, nigga, I'm not trying to get dirty. I gotta crawl around. Gross. And I'm gonna break my nails. Fuck you. I'm good. Shout out to all of you in the comments who left those comments. Oh, one last thing. I told you niggas, it's more creepy shit besides fucking aliens, man. Shit.
I try to only do stories where I can get all the facts, and I try never to give opinions or things that the deceased might have been feeling or explain decisions that they made if I don't know for sure. In this case, all we have is the best reconstruction that authorities came up with after they reviewed all the evidence on the dive computer and where things were found. So hopefully that doesn't offend anybody. I certainly don't want anybody to think that I know exactly what happened. The only person who does is no longer with us.
Now this is definitely something you don't see every day, a duende in the clutches of a cat. This happened in Ecuador, and is actually very impressive footage. Pay close attention to the duende, pixie, fairy, little creature as it fights to free itself from the cat. Unfortunately, the cat broke the creature's arm and damaged its leg, but this brave little...
How do you know he broke its arm and damaged its leg? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Creature manages to break free from the cat and flies off at incredible speed. Watch this.
Personally, I think this is AI. But cats and dogs can see these interdimensional things. But why can we see it though? That's why I think it's AI.
This is the most dangerous cave in the world, and you will see why as this man lights his torch. The cave is located in Costa Rica and is called Cueva de la Muerte, or Cave of Death in English. Now watch what happens when he puts his fire into the cave. You can clearly see that the bottom of the cave is completely dry. There's no water or anything. But when he lowers his fire, it dies instantly. And that is the same fate a lot of small animals have when they wander into this cave. But why is that exactly? Well, you see, fire needs oxygen to burn, just like animals need oxygen to breathe. And this cave somehow emits almost pure CO2, which is heavier than air. That's exactly why the flame doesn't die right away. It only dies when he puts it down into the pool of CO2 at the bottom of the cave. Now, if you want to learn more about awesome places, then please follow.
So a massive hidden forest was discovered in this giant sinkhole in South China. And yeah, these photos are incredible. Scientists are saying that there may be species of animals in here that we have never seen before. The tallest tree in the sinkhole forest is over 131 feet tall. This giant sinkhole is actually part of a cluster of giant sinkholes recently discovered in South China. This is the 30th one discovered, which means there might be more of these.
Hold on. See, Christians don't know, Jews don't know, Muslims don't know. Nobody knows how many days there are. Furthermore, we don't know, like, if there... I remember in Sunday school, 1,000 days is like a day to God or something like that? Or like the blink of an eye or something like that? Y'all leave it in the comments if y'all know exactly what it is. I remember hearing something like that. When they say we're in the last days, plural, we don't know how long it is. It could be the last days, like it's 5 days left, but each day equals 1,000. So it's 5,000 years left. We don't know. But Anyway, there's major signs and then there's minor signs, according to the Muslims. Just telling you this stuff because it's all so paranormal. We talk about all of these other, like, you know what I mean? From these different tribes and perspectives and people throughout the world and different cultures. What they say the end of the world is like, well, it should line up with what those three cultures say. The Islamic culture and faith, the Jewish culture and faith, the Christian culture and faith. Those guys are the only things that all seem to like line up. And here and there throughout the world, people have, you know, various things, but everything Indians say don't line up. Like Jews, Muslims, and Christians, like they pretty much line up. It's like the Jews didn't like Jesus. The Christians say Jesus is God. And the Muslims say, no, Jesus is just a regular guy. But they all believe he existed. That's the connection. None of them are saying he ain't real. One of the signs of the last days is that this beast will come out of the earth, and it's the size of a mountain. And I remember when, you know, my ex girl, her dad was telling me, I'm listening to this nigga like, man, what are you even talking about, man? But I had to, like, you know, play the game because I wanted his daughter to take her top off. She never did. Fucking Muslim bitches are prude, man. The fuck? That's how they get you to become Muslim. That's how they taunt you with their women, you know, because they're fucking gorgeous. But you can only see the eyes, though. That's a good one, Muslims. That's real. That's slick. How you get new members in. That's a good one. Anyway, so he telling me this. I'm like, a beast, the size of a mountain, is gonna come out of the... and nobody's gonna see it. And he was like, nah, people's gonna see it, and it's gonna take like 3 days for it to come out of the earth. And he said, and then when it comes out, it like marks on your face whether you're like a believer or you don't believe or something like that. I was like, all right. As I'm looking at this, I'm like, whole ecosystem down there, huh? So you saying it's like a planet within the planet is what you saying? Huh? Could a mountain fit down there? Huh? It can. But that don't mean nothing, right? That's just a story. You're stupid.
What do y'all think? Let me know.
You know what? After discovering this video of this guy who went inside of a cave that looks exactly like a giant esophagus, I am convinced that there were giant mountain-sized humanoids that used to live in the past. I mean, look at this thing. It looks exactly like the inside of our throats. I'll give you more evidence in this video, but I mean, look at this. There are so many coincidences where we see what looks like giant human body parts in nature. Like, what does that look like to you? Now check this out. This is another cave. What do you guys think this looks like? To me, it looks like human musculature. And this is where Himalayan pink salt comes from. So what you're putting on your human meat hot dog is the remains of a giant human, which is basically blood rocks. Let me know what you guys think. Is this fact or is it fiction?
I think I'm getting tired of this shit. But what you looking at?
Let's discuss Bear Rock, or as most of you know it by, Devil's Tower. There are so many different stories as to how this tower came to be on TikTok. Some people think it was a tree that angels cut down, and other people are like, no, it's clearly not made out of wood. It's magma. But it's not a volcano though. Like, oh my gosh. I'm not talking about any of those. Instead, I want to discuss the Native American tales behind this beautiful tower. Two young boys become lost in a vast prairie as they're trying to find their way home. In their panic, they get the feeling as if they are being watched, and to their horror, they realize that they are being stalked by the ferocious, relentless, and gigantic Mato the bear. They run as far and as fast as they can, but they're in this giant meadow with no place to hide, and just as Mato is upon them, the boys drop to their knees and pray. As they pray, the ground begins to shake and move, and the boys are lifted into the sky on a platform. This giant tower is created underneath their feet, and Mato is so determined to get these boys that it scratches and claws at the edges, creating the very famous lines in the side of the mountain. Another
Amber! I'm getting tired of this shit, man. I am getting tired of this. I don't think I'm gonna be in this genre too much longer, man. I don't want to rethink everything. That's just something you say to get people to your video. You not really supposed to think about shit. Creepy TikToks that'll make you rethink everything. I'm tired of thinking, bitch.
Their version of the story is similar, but instead of boys, it's maidens. And as this tower is created underneath them, they ascend into the sky, creating the Seven Sisters star cluster that you can actually see above the tower in the fall. I think that's my favorite version of the story. Another story tells a tale of a wife being tormented and stalked by a large bear. The men of that tribe had a great battle with that bear, hence the scratches on the side. And during this whole process, the bear had slapped the warrior's wife and thus turned her into a bear. After that tribe was able to...
Okay, that sounds more better. Some of this shit be sounding too close to home. A bear slapped the bitch and then she turned into a bear. Okay, that's better. That's more Star Wars-ish. That other shit is too much.
To defeat this giant bear, the bear woman resided in this tower, and thus it got the name Bear's Lodge. I love how many stories there are for just this one natural phenomenon. Let me know which one is your favorite.
Then they got a real tree that's big as this.
Since she was the only one who had past experience in the cave, she went through the water tunnel to the second chamber of the cave, and the other three followed her soon after. However, they had already made their biggest mistake. The thing to note here is that all four...
The biggest mistake was going in the cave. The second mistake was swimming through some drain pipe.
Four of the people present in the cave at that time were complete novices, and the same was true for Joseph, who was standing outside, waiting for his friends. They did have some common sense.
Joseph was the smartest one. I mean, that was stupid to go in the cave, but at least he was like, let me wait here for you niggas. Come back, tell me you're safe, and then I'll go. Not till then.
So they brought a rope and tied it from the entrance of the water tunnel to the start of the second chamber. Moreover, they had brought some light sources with them, like candles and a flashlight, but it just wasn't enough. Police managed to piece together what happened using evidence in the next few weeks. The first problem that they had to deal with was bad air. A lot of times, these caves have very bad air circulation, creating areas which have very little to no oxygen.
Just like the last clip where the dude had a torch, and then he put it on the ground, and it went out. What makes you niggas think that all of the air ain't like that? Nothing. That's what makes them think that. Not a goddamn thing.
Such area was the second chamber, where there wasn't enough oxygen for one person, much less four. A few minutes in the second cave, and they already started feeling uneasy and lightheaded. It didn't help that they had to hold their breath for around 30 to 40 seconds when they were swimming through the water tunnel from the first chamber to the second chamber. This meant that all four of them were out of breath when they came into the second chamber, and it just didn't have enough oxygen for them to regain some of their strength. At this point, they ignited some candles to create a bit of light, but that only made things worse, as it used up more oxygen, causing the entire group to feel even worse.
So this man has a pretty cool job.
Says whom? See, you just say stuff to get people to come to your video. It's all clickbait. They've been clickbaiting us. Remember we used to walk into Walmart? Ooh, roll back. That's a clickbait. They didn't roll shit back. Sale, nigga, it's no sale. The world has been full of clickbaits, my nigga, since the 50s. Who says this is a cool job? How much do they pay this nigga? He don't get no thousands to knock that shit down. I bet if I Google this, they say this nigga got minimum wage. Why would they pay him more than that?
He has to break off these huge icicles that only take a few hours to form in front of this spooky looking cave entrance. And these icicles are no joke. Some are much larger than the guy himself and could fall on someone at any point. So
why don't they just give this guy a laser? All of this technology, we supposed to be living in the Jetsons, we got flying cars, AI. This nigga can't just point a heat gun at this shit and melt them things off from the top? Get the fuck out of here. There's no way this nigga has a cool job. And how many hours do he work? Fuck out of here, man. See how niggas just be saying shit? This guy's got a pretty cool job. Shut the fuck up.
Getting every single one down before anyone enters the cave is very important, or you might find yourself starring in the next Final Destination movie.
So this stalactite is just centimeters away from joining with the stalagmite. And when they do, the two of them will become what we call a column. Like that column right over there.
And what do you call it when you digging through a cave, crawling, exploring, and one of these stalactites fall on you? Didn't impale you, it just landed on your head like the icicles in the last clip. What do we call that? The fuck up, nigga.
And after they join, the column will keep getting fatter.
سند ليش قاعد ايش؟ سند بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سند هذا هو مقبره بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله مين هو؟ اسمها السند اسمها السند كيف انت هيك سند؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم جهتك بالله رجعه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم جهتك بالله بقول لك لا يتكلم هذا الحجر هذا الحجر.
Listen, even if this shit is staged, who's to say some shit like that don't live in this cave that you exploring, nigga? Who's to say? You going swimming? You got on your swimming gear and your little outfit and your rebreather, and this shit is just in the water, just sitting there. You don't even see it because it's pitch black, and it just cut your air hose because it think it's funny.
Ha ha! Watch me drown this nigga, y'all. Watch this. Ha! That nigga was like, ooh. You bitch ass nigga.
You telling me demons don't do that amongst one another? Little practical jokes? Trip you while you walking? You ever just trip over nothing? I be thinking this jin's there be like, oop, I got it. That nigga stupid. But I'm the weirdo, right? I know.
هذا الحجر خطير جدا وانه يتعامل مع ملوك الجن. هذا الحجر وهذا لا شيء مثل هذا الحجر، ولكن احضروا لي ما الخدع الذي
جيب البخاخ جيب ارجع بسرعة ارجع انتظر هيقول لك انتظر
الآن. هذا المقبرة وهذا صديقكم سند. نعم، عليكم أن تفهموا وتعرفوا هذه الساحرة الحجر تشكلت على.
They were exploring a cave when one of them got possessed and disappeared. I'm good.
هل فهمتم؟
طب رجعوا
I'm good. I'm alright.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقع بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ابعد عني
عليكم الذهاب من هنا الآن.
Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you to my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you to my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding, but seriously, join. Thank you